Welcome into the LMP studio for another LL Basketball Roundtable. Our esteemed host, Mike Gross, is unable to be here today, so it's just myself and colleague Jeff Reinhardt covers LL Girls Basketball. I cover LL League Boys Basketball. We're trying to bring you a full recap, one-stop shop of everything Lancaster Lebanon League Girls and Boys Basketball. Brought to you by Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. Mr. Reinhardt,
yes,
we got
sir.
a few weeks left in the regular season before we talk playoffs.
Yes.
What's going on the girls' side?
Good stuff. Races are coming to a head here, really quick. Still two undefeated teams. Lebanon 16-0, Lancaster Catholic 16-0. So they each have 6 games to go to see if they can get to 22-0. Always a cool feat. Tough to do. That's not an easy feat to go 22-0. And now both of them have big targets here for the last couple of weeks, and they both have some tricky non-league games coming up here down the stretch. Okay. Section play. Section 1, Lebanon, they've already clinched a tie for the section championship. And they can win it outright on Friday. They play Cedar Crest. The Falcons are the second place team. They have 2 losses, Lebanon undefeated. If Lebanon beats Cedar Crest at home on Friday, Cedars win Section 1. They won Section 2 last year. They shared it with Ephrata. So they're going for back-to-back championships, which is pretty cool. Kind of shows you where they're at now with their program, playing really well, and they're young. And they're really good, and they're undefeated. So Lebanon, Cedar Crest, Friday night. Lebanon wins at home. They win Section 1 outright. Section 2, Mannheim Central out front. They're 8-0. Barons have won 8 in a row. They are scorching. Maddie Nyer's coming up on 1,800 career points. So if they get a postseason run, good chance she gets $2,000. Ephrata is right behind them at 6-1. Warwick hanging around at 4-3. They had a tough loss on Tuesday night. They lost to Solanco, which is near the bottom in the standings, which is okay. But they played spoiler, which can be fun, and they knocked off Warwick. So Warwick 3 back, mathematically still alive for the second spot. Central plays Ephrata on January 31st next week. I think that's Tuesday maybe. That'll be a huge game, and if Central wins that one, they all but wrap up Section 2. Section 3, Lancaster Catholic 7-0 ahead of LS. Pioneers are 6-1. That loss was to Catholic. They play on Friday night at Catholic. So if Catholic beats LS on Friday, Crusaders win it outright. 6 straight championships for Catholic and 26 overall. That's pretty good. That's a league record. Section 4, a little jumbled here. Columbia's still out front, 7-0, playing really well. Anvil, Cleona, and Pequay Valley, as of this recording, both have 2 losses. Lancaster Country Day has 3 losses, but the Cougs have games against Columbia, Anvil, and Pequay Valley down the stretch. So they play all the leaders coming up in the last couple of weeks. So the Cougars kind of control their own destiny. Columbia large and in charge to win it. Got to sort out some things there with Pequay Valley and Anvil Cleona. Pequay Valley does play Anvil Cleona at home in their last section game of the year, February 6th. So still a lot of work to do in Section 4. That's where we're at with the section races.
All right, since you did section races and girls, I'll do boys, and then we'll get to some milestones, both player and coach, that kind of happened recently and or will be coming up. LL League Section 1, Hempfield is currently on top. I believe 2 games ahead of McCaskey. Hempfield took care of business against McCaskey, I believe, last Friday. Section 2, Mannheim Central, still your leader there. However, the Barons did suffer an overtime loss and upset to E-Town at home in Mannheim last Friday. Kudos to E-Town. They've really been battling some folks. And Central since bounced back. I don't know what the math is, but they only have 1 loss. They only have a 1 in the loss column atop Section 2, currently in front of second place Warwick. They escaped. Mannheim Central escaped Conestoga Valley on Tuesday night, 60-55 was your final. And Trey Grube only scored 13 points in that game. Aaron Enterline, All-State football player in the fall, who you know good about.
Yes.
Since he's kind of knocked off the basketball rust, man, he is good. Not only is he tall, but like put the ball on the floor, he can move in the air. Nice. So if they can develop that second consistent scorer next to Grube, watch out. And they've, off to a great start as it is, 14-3 overall. Section 3, currently Lampeter, Strasburg, and Octorara tied in the loss column. Octorara took care of business against LS a couple weeks back when Ben Wirt went down for the season, and the Pioneers have continued to roll and kind of win games that they should have. Interesting game coming up, I believe, next Tuesday. LS is going on the road to Cedar Crest, so Section 3 going to Section 1. Should be interesting.
Okay.
But watch out for Donegal there, sitting in third place. Octorara goes to Donegal on Friday. Donegal beat Octorara in the first matchup. Donegal needs to win that, not only to have a chance at league playoffs, but also possibly increase their district power rankings. And then Section 4, again, Columbia sitting on top there, 5-0 league, 16-2 overall. And Columbia went on the road Eastern New York early, sometime within the last few days. I think. Eastern New York's a 5A squad, Columbia's a 3A squad, and Eastern New York's having a really good year. I think they only have 3 losses, and Columbia beat them. Columbia has wins over them, and Manheim Central they beat earlier in the year on the road. So Columbia off to a great start. We have to wait until the regular season finale, I believe, is at Mennonite. Camden Hurst should be back for the Blazers by that point. The returning All-State pick coming off a broken hand. So that's kind of the game we're circling on the calendar there. As far as milestones, you've had a couple recently on the girls' side.
Tuesday night was big. 2 things. Ladies first. Genesis Meadows, one of our favorites for Country Day. She's been there forever. Won a district title as a freshman. She broke the all-time scoring mark at Country Day on Tuesday night on a foul shot. Yes. She snapped Ashante Duncan's school record for scoring. Genesis actually played with Ashante when Duncan was a senior, I think. They were teammates, which is pretty cool. But Meadows is having an unbelievable year. 4 of her last 6 games, she's had 30 or more. So she's taken over the league lead in scoring. So all-time record, most points in a career, Genesis Meadows. Congrats. Sean Burkhart, Manheim Township coach, 12th season on the bench for the Streaks. Everybody's getting old. He got his 200th career win on Tuesday.
Wow.
I love that he got it against Hempfield, which is like, what, the best rivalry of all time in the LL League?
200 wins in 12 years. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's a lot of playoff trips. That's a lot of 20-win seasons, plus a COVID year mixed in there with a shorter schedule. So Sean got his 200th, joining Carl Kreiser, who's at 250 plus for Columbia, and Charlie Detz, who is at 216 at midweek.
In terms of active coaches
with 200 plus. Good for him. Jason McDonald, Pequea Valley coach, got 125 about a week ago. So a lot of fun things. Okay, random girls notables. Jasmine Griffin, Ephrata. She is also in line to break Ephrata's all-time scoring leader. She needs 14 points on Thursday against Solanco at home. So I would think she'll get those. She averages 18 or 19. Fun story. Ephrata's all-time leading scorer is Carla Wenger. Carla Wenger is an assistant coach for Ephrata. So Jasmine plays for her, and now she's going to break her record on Thursday. So take a look for that. Jasmine Griffin needs 14 on Thursday night to become the all-time leading scorer. Next 1,000-point kid in the LL should be Brooke Draghi from Columbia. Twin sister Bree's already in the club. She's at like 1,300 plus already. Brooke is at 977, so she needs 23. Tide plays again on Thursday in a non-league game at home against Elko. So we'll see if Brooke gets some extra shots, wink, wink, to try to get to 1,000 in front of the home crowd. And then Columbia doesn't play again until next week. Big game Thursday. I'm going to try to make it to this one. Lancaster Catholic, undefeated, at Central York, which is number 1 in District 3 6A. They only have 1 loss. So that's a big game. Catholic's non-league games have been great. They played Berks Catholic last Saturday. That turned out to be a good game. So Catholic at Central York. Best wishes and thoughts for Scott Wissner, Central York's coach, not with the team right now, struggling with some health issues. Get well soon. Speaking of which, Chad McDowell, Solanco girls coach, he's really hurting. So please keep Chad in your thoughts. He made it out to the game Tuesday against Warwick, and Solanco won. I got a message after, and they said they were really inspired by him being there. And Solanco ended up beating Warwick and knocking the Warriors down a peg. So all the best to Chad and his family. He needs your thoughts, trust me. Lastly, companion video this week. Tyler and I were in Kinzers, Pequea Valley. Peyton Henshaw, senior, neat kid. She's dealing with epilepsy. So let her talk about that, what she's dealing with. Neat kid, plays sports. She's out and about while dealing with that. Tricky, she's on meds, and she can go out and be with her friends and play basketball. So she had some good messages, how she lives her life, and messages that she shares with her teammates and little kids who look up to her. Inspirational kind of a interview. Neat kid. Peyton Henshaw, take a look for that video. Pretty pleased.
All right, and then on the boys' side, I want to give a couple notes here. Manheim Central's Trey Grube is now the LL League boys basketball all-time three-point career three-point leader, past Tucker Lesko in that overtime loss to E-Town last week. Tucker Lesko, Cocalico alum, 2016 grad, finished with 271. As we record this, Trey Grube is currently at 280.
Wow.
And I know his dad told me the goal is to get 300.
Well,
but
that's a good number.
No, the top goal is to keep winning for the Bands.
Surely.
For sure. Warwick coach, boys coach, 8th year, Chris Christensen picked up career win number 100 in a victory over Solanco on Tuesday. He is the third coach in program history to hit the century mark, the first to do it since Dave Althouse stopped coaching at Warwick. 320 career wins in 1990. Chris has obviously coached Althouse's grandson, and Chris inherited the program from Jeff Landis, who is currently on the Warwick bench as an assistant. So kind of a neat little story there. It's currently 12 active LL League boys coaches with at least 100 career victories. There might be a couple more as far as getting close to 200 coming up, possibly by the end of the season.
That's good longevity, too. There's not a lot of turnover, which is nice.
And I cover lacrosse in the spring, and that's where there's a lot of turnover in coaches for various reasons. So I think it kind of speaks volumes in terms of basketball and how long these coaches can stick around for sure. Couple games worth note coming up. We mentioned Octor at Donegal on Friday, key Section 3 battle. And then Tuesday, but before you guys see us again, Manheim Central's going to Ephrata. The Mounts got off to a good 5-0 start, kind of went through a lull there, and kind of since rebounded. They're going to need to start winning some games here if they're going to have a shot at possible league playoff, district playoff berth. But they're having a good season regardless. Then Section 1, Hempfield goes to McCaskey. Key Section 1 game there. Can Hempfield go unbeaten in Section 1 and win the crown this year? They're going to have to go through McCaskey. They already took care of business at home in Landisville a week or so ago, and now they're going to go on the road. And then also Tuesday, worth mentioning here, Warwick goes to Conestoga Valley, 8 o'clock start Tuesday night. Currently, Warwick and CV, numbers 2 and 3 in Section 2. I think they're separated by like percentage points, and CV, for as up and down seasons they had, are right there in the thick of things. Warwick doesn't even have a senior on the roster. The defending section champs are still playing really well. So that's a couple games worth watching. Anything else for the good of the Oregon on the girls side? 2
LL girls teams sit atop the District 3 rankings at midweek. Lancaster Catholic in AAA, and Lancaster Country Day was number 1 the last time I checked in AA. Only 4 teams get in, so they're safe to get in. And if the season ended tomorrow, which it doesn't, Country Day would play Lancaster Mennonite, which only has
You're already going there. We got
only
plenty
have
of
4
basketball
wins.
left.
I know. They only have 4 wins.
Calm down.
But they're safe at number 4. They would play in the semifinals.
Right.
So, and Linville Hill Christian, which we
but
probably
boys
don't
and
talk.
girls.
They're both incredible. The girls have 1 loss, and they're number 1.
Boys are going to win District 3 1A crown.
There's the prediction.
If they don't.
Yeah, good for that crew.
Since you went there, Hempfield on the boys' side, District 3 6A, Hempfield's at number 4. District 3 5A, this is interesting.
Okay.
Of the 4 teams in District 3 5A power rankings, 3 are from the LL League. Manheim Central's 1, Lamprey Strasburg's 2, Warwick is 4, District 3 4A, Octor is 5, Elko's 9, District 3 3A, Columbia's 1, District 3 2A, Lancaster Mennonites 1, and District 3 1A, Linville Hills 1.
Wow.
So it's going to be a very busy postseason.
You're going to be busy, my friend.
Sure.
You are.
All right. Thank you guys all for watching. Hopefully we got you up to speed on everything LL League basketball. This has been the LL Basketball Roundtable, brought to you by Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. Thanks for watching.